Mawa wabwino tikulandireni pano pakanema wa Parliament lero lachisanu pa 11 April 2025. Dzina langa ndi Rachel Gonani. Aphungu a nyumba ya malamulo akuyembekezeka kumaliza zokambirana zawo zomwe ndi zoyamba mu mkumano wa namba 51 wa nyumba ya malamulo lero. Uwu unali mkumano owunika ndondomeko ya chuma cha boma ya 2025-2026. Ndondomeko ya zokambirana za aphungu lero ikusonyeza kuti nyumbayi iyamba kukambirana mafunso ochokera kwa aphungu kupita ku maunduna osiyanasiyana, ndipo kumbali ya boma nyumbayi ikuyembekezeka kukambirana mabilu komanso kumva kuyankhula kwa otsogolera aphungu mnyumbayi komanso mtsogoleri wa zipani zotsutsa mnyumbayi, pamomwe zokambirana zimene zikutha lerozi zinalili masabata 5 amene apitawa. Tiyanditsatire limodzi zokambiranazi. In case you are just joining us, welcome to Parliament Television. My name is Rachel Gonani. We are live inside the Parliament building in Lilongwe on the last day of the first meeting of Parliament in the 51st session, the 2025-2026 budget meeting of Parliament. With 6 weeks of chamber business and 2 of cluster committee meetings, it has been quite an eventful 8 weeks from Friday, that was the 14th of February, till today, the 11th of April 2025. Well, the House is expected to rise some die or to say indefinitely. But before we get to today's business, let's take a look at today's order paper. Under general business, the House is expected to tackle questions on notice to ministers for oral replies, and under government business, the House is expected to deliberate on bills, statutory reports, as well as take adjournment formalities from the leader of the House, as well as the leader of opposition in the House. We now cross over to the chamber for today's deliberations.
Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom has appointed the office of the rulers and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we ask you to behold with your abundant favors your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this land. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we may treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of this country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen.
General business, communication from the chair.
Good morning and welcome, honorable members. I have one communication to make. Honorable members, it is with deep sorrow that I inform the House of the untimely passing of Mr. Roy Nguruwe, who until his death served as a clerk of the Parliament of Zambia. Mr. Nguruwe passed away after a short illness whilst on official duties attending the 150th Interparliamentary Union Assembly in Uzbekistan. On behalf of this House, I convey our heartfelt condolence to the Speaker of the Parliament of Zambia and the entire Zambian nation during this time of great loss. May I ask all honorable members to stand and observe a minute of silence in honor of late Mr. Roy Nguruwe. May the soul of Mr. Roy Nguruwe rest in eternal peace. Amen.
General business.
Right, Honorable Speaker, good morning, and good morning, honorable members of the House. I would like to move a motion. And the motion is that we, instead of allowing members of different delegation visits to present a report, that is item 2D, should actually lay the reports on the table other than making presentation. So I beg to move that instead of them orally presenting their reports, they should lay the reports on the table. I beg to move.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now put the question as presented by the Leader of the House that the reports, as indicated in our order paper, should be laid on the table other than presented on the floor. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Honorable Leader, is that another direction? Sorry?
Another motion.
Another motion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honorable Speaker, I would like therefore to beg to move that the order paper be varied in order for us, first of all, to tackle government business, 3B, laying of papers on the table, then thereafter come to 2D, laying of delegation reports on the table. I beg to guide.
Thank you, Honorable Leader. Honorable members, I now put the question. The question is that we waive all relevant standing orders in order for us to start with government business 3B. Is it 3B, statutory reports, or? Yes, 3B, statutory reports. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried.
Government business, statutory reports. The Honourable Minister of Justice to lay statutory reports indicated on the order paper from Roman numeral 1 to 5.
Thank you. Honourable Minister. Yes, is it Government Chief Whip?
Madam Speaker, I beg to present papers standing on my name under item 3B1 of the order paper.
Sergeant at Arms. Minister Chief Whip, since they are from the same minister, you can lay them all together 1 to 5. Thank you. You'd have to cite from your Roman numeral 1 to 5.
All right. Madam Speaker, I beg to present the papers standing on my name on item 3B, Roman numeral 1 to 4 of the order paper.
Even the SCB, is it not under means of justice? It's all
1 to 5. I only have
yes,
4.
1 to 5.
I have 4.
Thank you. Sergeant at Arms. Honourable Minister, do you wish to speak to your report?
No, Madam Speaker.
You should refer them to the relevant
Yes,
committee.
I would like to refer them to a committee on legal affairs.
I beg to move.
I beg to move.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, I now put the question. The question is that the statutory reports as laid by the Honourable Minister of Justice be referred to the committee, the Legal Affairs Committee. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Government Chief Whip.
Madam Speaker, just rising on a point of order, the order paper has missed subsidiary registration, which was appearing on the previous order papers, but today's order paper, they aren't there. So
subsidiary legislation?
Yes, so I wanted to just find out what's happening.
Honourable Government Chief Whip, I'm being told that all of them were laid. Honourable Government Chief Whip, I'm told that all of them were laid already, so we don't have any outstanding, unless if you have got different information. Thank you.
General business, presentation of delegation reports. The honourable leaders of delegation to lay at the table for noting the delegation reports from Roman numeral 1 to 3.
Thank you, Honourable Member. I now call upon the Honourable Member for Machinga East, although I don't think she's in the House, and I doubt Machinga East is not around. We'll go to the next one. Honourable Member from Zimba Southwest. I can't see him. Oh, Honourable Member for Zomba Malosa. Yes, Honourable Government Chief Whip. Zomba Malosa, resume your seat.
I was wondering, Madam Speaker, since it's just laying, if we can allow other members to do them on behalf of the chairs.
If the report is around, that would be allowed, but I don't know if the IPU report is anywhere close to the House. But yeah, Zomba Malosa, you can, whilst we're looking for the other report, Zomba Malosa.
Madam Speaker, I beg to present the papers standing on my name under item D2D, numeral 2 of the order paper.
Agenda items. Honourable Member for Zomba Malosa, do you wish to speak to your report?
No, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Honourable members, thank you, Honourable Member for Zomba Malosa. The report will be laid and it will be noted and processed under, I think, the International Affairs Committee. Honourable Member for Chiradzulu West. Chiradzulu West.
Right Honourable Madam Speaker, I beg to present the papers standing on my name under item 2D, part 3 of the order paper.
Thank you, Sergeant at Arms. Member for Chiradzulu West, do you wish to speak to your report?
No, Right Honourable Speaker.
Chiradzulu West, the report will be noted and referred to the relevant committee. Thank you.
Thank you.
Honourable, for the report for the one that was supposed to be presented by Machinga East, told it's going to be done by you.
Madam Speaker, I beg to present the papers standing on my name and item 2D1 of the order paper.
Agenda items. Do you wish to speak to your report, Government Chief Whip?
No, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The report has been noted and will be transferred to the relevant committee. Thank you. Honourable Member for Jitipa East, you're rising.
Yes, good morning, Right Honourable Speaker. The people of Misuku would want to ask a matter of procedure, that this is the last sitting of Parliament. and that the reports are being sent to the relevant committees. At what point will that report be presented to this cohort so that we get acquainted with the same reports? Thank you.
Honorable member, it will not be sent back to this house, but obviously it will be used in the next cohort. The reports, once they've been, maybe they'll be debated by the next cohort, the report will come back to those honorable members that will make it back into this house. Thank you. Guidance from the government, please. Leader.
We're going to tackle questions from the Minister of Transport, the Honorable Able Minister of Transport. Will tackle one or two questions before I would interrupt him again. And you understand later why he has to do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Leader of the House.
General Business. Questions on notice to ministers for oral replies.
We start with question number 69, Zomba Nsondole.
Thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker. I rise indeed to confirm that question number 69, appearing in today's order paper, bearing my name, is indeed from the people of Zomba Nsondole, and in particular, Group Village Headman, Bimbi, and the DC in the tiers of Kuntumanje and Nkagura. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Zomba Nsondole. Honorable Minister of Transport and Public Works.
Madam Speaker, good morning once again. The Honourable Member for Zomba Nsondole would like to ask the Minister of Transport and Public Works to consider construction of Nyambwe Katambasula Bridge, which was constructed using CDF, but got washed away and extended the river beyond CDF reach, and Dodma promised to reconstruct only to be told that there are no funds. So he says this bridge connects Makwapara Health Center, Katamba CD, SS, and primary schools. Govala Produce Market and Tsupsu Prison, Chirwa, approved schools of juveniles, Katambala Catholic Parish. Through you, Madam Speaker, I would like to thank the people of Zomba Nsondole for this question. Madam Speaker, Nyambwe Katambasula Bridge is indeed very, very important to the people of Zomba, especially those in Nsondole constituency, as it improves access and connectivity to different socio-economic infrastructure. However, Madam Speaker, through you, let me inform the Honourable Member that the bridge is on an undesignated road, and as such, these roads fall under the jurisdiction of the local councils. My ministry has devolved the responsibility of managing these roads to the local councils. However, we do know that currently that the councils also do not have the capacity to handle this, but there is an allocation that we are putting up for them so that they're able to handle these issues. It's only that we would like to say power to the people, and we would want the councillors and the people, the members of the council, to kind of like indicate the priorities on what they want to do. So therefore, I would like to ask the Honourable Member to advise, to submit this to the Council for Zomba for prioritization and funding consideration. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Honourable Minister of Transport and Government Chief Whip, Kasungu North. Oh, sorry, the owner of the question, sorry. Zomba Sondoli.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This question has been there, and the district council is aware of about this bridge. And I don't know from where the council would get the funds, apart from the CDF itself. As I have alluded to, that the bridge is now beyond funding from the CDF account. Please, may I get clarification of how the funds for this bridge, as Dodma promised us, and they already also started some part of the work. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Zomba Sondole. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I did say that we do recognize that the councils, especially Zomba Council, may not have the capacity to handle this, but we know that Zomba, I think, was also hit hard with the cyclone. And to just comfort the honorable member that we do have a project on climate resilience program under World Bank. And so Zomba District Council has received some resources that will enable the council to fix that bridge. So under that program of the climate resilience program, we have the funding from World Bank that will go to Zomba District Council to be able to handle that. Thank you.
Much Honorable Minister. Kasungu North. Kasungu North, I already recognized you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for granting an opportunity to the people of Kasungu North. My standing is to ask the Minister, because I've got two questions going to the same Minister of Transport. So I wanted to remove question 121 on the order paper. So if my time comes, they should consider, they should remove 137 and consider 121. Thank you.
Thank you. Minister has taken note. Manguchi, Machinga South, and then Kasungu West.
Thanks very much, Madam Speaker. I wanted maybe to find out from our able Minister of Transport, at what stage or when are you going to rehabilitate the existing road in the constituencies? I'm asking this question because I think last year, especially in the Machinga South, most of the roads was not rehabilitated, especially the one that is when you turn at Nangana turn off, that is starting from Zomba Malosa up to Machinga South, TM Posa, TA Chamba, up to Machinga Central East. That road is very important road, but last year was never rehabilitated. This year I wanted to find out if this year on that road is going to be rehabilitated, because as of now it's in the pathetic situation. Thanks very much, Madam Speaker.
Member for Machinga South, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And as I take that question, I would like, I think, honorable members to pay attention, because I think it's a general concern and it cuts across different constituencies. And let me say that we do know that there are a number of, especially the earth roads, most of them have gone without grading and maintenance for quite a long time. And I would like to assure the honorable members that we have gotten some resources now, and that after these rains now that they're almost over, will be going into these places to start working on these earth roads, and most of them will be put back in place. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Kasungu West.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for recognizing the people of Kasungu West to asking the question to Minister of Transport. I have been standing here for asking when the project Lincoln to Luwala Road starts. Why I'm asking this? Because people from my constituency are asking me each and every time to know. And the way it is, the road is very bad road. So if it is possible, as we are waiting the project, should the minister intervene to look some areas which are very pathetic? People have stopped this road to use. So if it is possible, the minister should consider Lincoln to Luwala Road so that people can access to use that road. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Kasungu West. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And through you, let me thank the people of Kasungu West for their question. If it weren't for some eventualities, by now we should have already started working on this road. But this is one of the roads that were affected, I think, by the administration in the US on the declarations by the current president. However, we are in good talks with our good friends, the American people, who have actually assured us that they are working hard to ensure that we take back this project and start the process of this project. So as we are now, we are still in good talking terms with them, and I can assure the honourable member that these good people will, in a few months' time, will be able to give us, I should say maybe 30 days, the days we were talking about, we said maybe in 30 days' time, we should be able to make a determination and resume works on these projects. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We go to question 96, Cholo East. Cholo East.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for according the people of Cholo East to ask a question. I rise to confirm that question number 96 of the today's order paper really comes from the people of Cholo East, particularly the people of TA Naseta and the Senior Chief Ndalama. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member for Cholo East. Honourable Minister of Transport.
Madam Speaker, the Honourable Member of Cholo East constituency is asking the Minister of Transport and Public Works to urgently renovate the damaged Muterwe and Nankhuma bridges affected by Cyclone Freddy. The two bridges have completely separated the Luchenza municipality from TA Naseta and the Chilazuro district respectively. This is making it difficult for people to get social services from the municipality. Madam Speaker, through you, I would like to thank the Honourable Member of Cholo East constituency for this question. My ministry does appreciate the importance of Muterwe and Nankhuma bridges to the people of Luchenza and Chilazuro as they improve connectivity to different socioeconomic structures. And just like I did answer the question from Zomba, the resources that we are looking forward to maintain these have been sent to councils, and it's under the same climate resilient project under the World Bank, the fundings from the World Bank. And we have allocated these funds that will go directly to the councils, and the councils will determine which infrastructure to fix depending on the resolution by the council. So I would like to urge the honourable member to take this project and ensure that it is prioritized at the council level. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honourable Member for Mangochi Central.
Thank you, Right Honourable Madam Speaker, for giving this space to the people of Mangochi Central. The Honourable Minister has already alluded that when the rains have, he's going to repair all the roads when the rains finish. I just wanted to remind him of the bridge on Nasenga Road. Madam Speaker, you remember during the cyclone Freddy, the villages were cutting the tarmac road so that the water should pass. That area is left unattended up to now, and 2 weeks ago, there was an accident which was involved. And on transmitter near the bishop's house, it's also left unattended. And on Beta, near Sun and Sand. And this is the main road from Mangochi to Monkey Bay. So in your plans, please remember the people of Mangochi. Mangochi Road from Monkey Bay to Mangochi is still unattended. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mangochi Central. Honourable Minister of Transport.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And through you, let me thank the Honourable Member of Mangochi Central for her supplementary question on Nasenga Road and then also the Bishop's house. Those places, we know them very well and that they need attention, and I would like to assure the Honourable Member that they are among our concerned places that we have allocated resources for to make sure that we fix them. And on the Monkey Bay Road, we know this is a main road, and when that eventuality was happening, we were in bad shape, but I'm happy to report that we now do have the resources, and we already identified a contractor that will be going on site to make sure that we make that road good again. Thank you.
Thank you. Chikwawa West, then Chitipa East.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for recognizing the people of Chikwawa West to ask a supplementary question to the Minister of Transport. Just to remind the Minister of Transport, as we are winding up today, the people of Chabananga still remembers that you promised them that you will visit us. The bridge and the road, we are still waiting. So this is a kind reminder, Honourable Minister, help us, the people of Chikwawa West. We have been standing since 2019. The other question is on the road to Natural Resources College, Luana. Honourable Minister, the road is in bad shape. When they try to inquire from the council, they say, no, this road is under Roads Authority. So they are having challenges when students are going to school. Even the lecturers, they are having problems to go to the school. So if you can assist the people to have the road from the junction to NRC to the college, it's really in bad shape. Please, on that one, you really have to help them. The last one is on the road, on the bridges that were washed away with Cyclone Freddy. I remember last time you circulated some forms which we filled in this chamber. I have in mind Mwanza River as well as Ngona, which was washed out. The bridges were washed away, but we did not hear anything from your ministry. So if you can also inform the people of Chikwawa West about these two bridges, whether they will be done using the funds under the Cyclone Freddy funds that we have collected. Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for recognizing me during this session and on this last day. I appreciate. Thank you.
Thank you, Chikwawa West. Honourable Minister of Transport.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Through you, let me thank the people of Chikwawa West for their questions. They have 3 questions. And the first question is a concern from Chikwawa, especially on the Chapananga Road and Chapananga bridges. I would like to assure the honorable member that the long waiting for the people of Chapananga is over, because we have identified contractors that will start working on this project and on this road. And the resources, previously, I think we never used to budget enough resources, so it was difficult to even take off. But the honourable member can be assured that we do now have enough resources for us to begin to attend to these roads. Secondly, she also raises an issue with the Natural Resources College Road. As we are doing the maintenance of the Mchinji Road, as we be handling the periodic maintenance from Mchinji Road, we'll make sure that we also include the Natural Resources College Road. On the Mwanza River and Bona River, I would like to assure the honourable member as well that through the resources on the Cyclone Freddy, I must say here that we do have some multiple fundings as far as the Fred is concerned. And Mwanza River and Bona will be able to be handled under this program on the climate resilience program. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Chitipa East.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving the space to the people of Misuku once again to ask a question to the Minister of Transport. Madam Speaker, first it was greetings to you from one Reverend Kalipe from Misuku. He's wishing you very well. He wants you to come back. And Reverend Mwiwa wanted to tell the House that he wants them all to come back in September, including Suleiman. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. That was the right note, Madam Speaker. But my question, Madam Speaker, is related to my colleague from Tioro East. Much as Cyclone Freddy was very pronounced in the south and other places, we in Chitipa East suffered a mild effect of the cyclone, Madam Speaker, and therefore want to ask the Minister of Transport if he could consider extending his good gesture to a road from Misuku to Namtega to Mugona, and also a road which is very bad shape. I've been asking Honorable Minister from Kapoka to Nachinganda, while you're also considering the small tarmac road from Rufita to Kasei. Madam Speaker, those were the questions from the people of Misuku. But as I go down, I want to thank you, Madam Speaker, that you gave me space. This is indeed the last day of this sitting, and in 2025 going ahead, it's obvious not everybody will be in this chamber, but I thought I should thank you, and I wish every one of us good luck as we go to campaign for the next cohort. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Once again, I wish you well.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member for Chitipa East. Honourable Minister of Transport.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Through you, let me thank the people of Chitipa East for their question. Asking for a consideration because they were equally hit by the cyclone. Indeed, I must say that these cyclones, although they were pronounced in the southern region, but their effects were still felt in places including the central region, but also the northern region, and most bridges were still washed away. They may not have experienced the heavy rains on a lot of days, but the few days that they had the effects were devastating enough to destroy a lot of infrastructure. And for that reason, there shall be a consideration for those infrastructure as well. On the roads that the honorable member has mentioned, the Msuku to Moana Kapoka to Nashinganga and the other roads, we will send the officers from Roads Authority to assess the type of damage that will need to be looked at, and then after that we'll get an advice and then see how to move forward. And I want to ask the honorable member to keep in touch once the people are on the ground so that we move quickly. We want to fix these roads much earlier. This is the best time when the roads have the rains have just subsided. It's the best time for us to work on these roads so that we don't have a lot of dust effects much later in the year. So I would like to thank the honorable member for this very important question. Thank you very much. And as he wishes most of us to come back, I would also want to wish him good luck so that he can also come back. He's a great asset to the party. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. A great asset to the House as well. Honorable Leader, you're rising.
I'm rising, Madam. We have reports that I would want to move the very same motion where would be asking chairpersons of these committees to lay the reports on the table. So this is business number 3C, presentation of committee reports. We have about 3, if not 4 reports that there are 4 reports that would like the chairs to lay them on the table other than making a presentation. I beg to move.
Thank you, Honorable Leader. I now call upon the chairperson of the Trade Committee.
General business, presentation of committee reports. The chairpersons to lay at the table committee reports numbered Roman numeral 1 up to 4.
Thank you. Chairperson of the Trade Committee.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I beg to present the papers standing on my name under items 3C1 and 3C2 of the order paper.
Thank you, Chair. Sergeant at Arms. Honorable members, as reported by the leader, the report stands laid on the table. I call upon the chairperson of Transport and Public Infrastructure.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker, Madam. Greetings from Senior Chief Kombeda and Senior Chief Maganjira. I therefore beg to present the papers standing to my name under item 3C3 of the order paper. I beg to present.
Thank you, Chair Transport. Sergeant at Arms. Thank you. The report stands laid on the table. I call upon the chairperson of the Government Assurance and Public Sector Reforms. Chair. Government Assurance. Deputy Chair, or do you have the report anywhere here? Anybody, Deputy Chair for the committee or a member from that committee? Honorable Member for Manguchi Mankibe.
Madam Speaker, I beg to present the papers standing on my name under item 2C4 of the order paper. Thank you.
Agent Adams. Mankibe, please stand. Thank you. The report stands laid on the table. Yes, Honorable Government Chief Whip.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I would like to beg that we vary the order paper in order for us to tackle item number 4 on the order paper, adjournment formalities. Thank you.
First, I now put the question. The question is that we waive all relevant standing orders in order for us to go straight into adjournment formalities. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Why are you rising, honorable members? Division not granted.
Adjournment formalities. The Honourable Leader of Opposition to deliver his adjournment remarks, to be followed by the Leader of the House to move adjournment sine die motion.
Leader of Opposition.
Point of order. Where is government? Point of order. Where is government? No, government is where is government?
Sit, Honorable Leader of Opposition.
Thank you. Where is government? Madam Speaker. There is no government here.
Thank you for giving me a chance to deliver the last speech today, sine die speech. Madam Speaker, today, April 11th, 2025, marks exactly 5 months until Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika the former President of the Republic of Malawi, and President of the mighty Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, takes office as the next President of Malawi. Let me start by expressing my deep gratitude to him for entrusting me with the responsibility I have carried over the past months. I also wish to thank the DPP leadership here in Parliament and my fellow members of Parliament from the opposition, including those from the United Democratic Front, UDF, the Alliance for Democracy Afford, the UTM, and several independent members for your support to me personally and our collective efforts in holding the government accountable. We tried our best to help government to serve the people better in coming up with better legislation, though our numbers betrayed us at times when we did not want bills that could hurt Malawians, like the case of the energy bill or the infamous government-to-government arrangement. Madam Speaker, as the opposition, we have raised a lot of issues, including the 2024-2025 supplementary appropriation, which has exceeded the original budget by 500 billion, raising concerns about transparency and accountability. The Finance Minister failed to disclose the over-expenditure in the initial budget documents, which undermines fiscal discipline and public trust. Past concerns about financial mismanagement were met with dismissive responses. This House must not allow the continued misuse of the supplementary appropriation as a cover for poor financial governance. Madam Speaker, we are not amused anyway that government has overspent so much money, as right now, social media is reporting that the State House is busy distributing monies to citizens who are ferried every day in what many of us believe is a vote-buying scenario, or indeed a move intended to manipulate the forthcoming elections. But let me assure them, we are watching every step that you are taking. Madam Speaker, we in the opposition have spoken against the government's wage bill, which is bloated, and we have seen how state residences have overspent their budgets. State residents have employed a lot of people, creating unnecessary positions in order to accommodate their friends and family members. Madam Speaker, for the first time, we have witnessed government ministries with over 3 principal secretaries, some of them without any proper work to do. We have witnessed retired principal secretaries being recalled from retirement, denying jobs to the youth and productive citizens. Additionally, let me also thank my fellow members of the Business Committee, including the leader of the House, that worked together to ensure that business brought in the House was favorable to Malawians. I remember there were attempts to bring the unconstitutional bills in the House, but these did not succeed because of our collective action. Madam Speaker, I cannot fulfill my duty without acknowledging the hard work of the Clerk of Parliament and all the staff who have diligently supported the smooth and procedural conduct of our deliberations. Madam Speaker, since almost all of us are going back to our various constituencies to compete for re-election, let me wish everyone here success. It is my hope that we are all going to make it during primary elections and eventually come back in this House as members of Parliament and perhaps more matured and more focused. Madam Speaker, I will not take up too much of your time today, as these are my final remarks in this House as a leader of opposition. Since after September 16 elections, we'll be that side. And perhaps I'll be the leader of the House, and maybe I'll be the Speaker. Who knows? Only God knows. And I think you know the Reverend. Madam Speaker, I don't take pride in speeches. However, as we rise my humble responsibility today, is to remind Malawians of the promises made 5 years ago on June 28, 2020, when President Chakwera and his administration took an oath to govern our nation. Madam Speaker, this administration, whether identified as the Malawi Congress Party, MCP, or the Tonse Alliance government, entered into a social contract with the people of Malawi. They pledged to uplift the livelihood of Malawians and address the challenges we are facing. The swearing-in ceremony symbolized a promise to reduce poverty, ensure food security, stabilize foreign exchange, make fertilizer and farm inputs affordable, improve health care, expand access to clean water and sanitation, enhance roadworks, create jobs for the youth, and ensure fair compensation for tobacco farmers. The people were promised a better future. Madam Speaker, in his inaugural State of the Nation address on September 4, 2020, President Chakwera outlined his vision under the theme, quote unquote, restoring warmth to the heart of Africa, unquote. President Chakwera promised to correct the shortcoming of the previous administration, specifically claiming that the poverty of our people was man-made and could be unmade. He unveiled his super high 5 pillars: servant leadership, uniting Malawians, prosperity, ending corruption, and the rule of law. Madam Speaker, today I stand before this House and the people of Malawi to present the results of an evaluation of this administration's performance, not based on personal opinion, but on empirical evidence gathered from socio-economic reports, media coverage, the voices of ordinary Malawians, and the observations of experts, religious leaders, traditional leaders, and others. Madam Speaker, the overwhelming sentiment from these diverse voices is that the living conditions of Malawians have significantly worsened over the past 5 years. The consensus is clear. Malawians are much worse off in 2025 than they were in 2020. This brings me to the theme of my address today. All that I've done was just a preamble. The failed Chakwera administration, Malawians demand a return to proven leadership. Allow me, therefore, to present the evidence supporting the voice of reason. Madam Speaker, let us begin with a baseline for the living conditions of Malawians before the current administration assumed office in 2020. Under the leadership of Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, Malawians could afford 3 meals a day because the price of maize was affordable at 6,000 kwacha per 50-kilogram bag. Malawi sanajepo chitezi ntawi ya President Peter Mutharika. Madam Speaker, fertilizer was accessible to many Malawians at around 18,000 kwacha per 50-kilogram bag, and those who could not afford it benefited from the fertilizer and input subsidy program, which ensured timely distribution before the planting season. Transportation of goods and services was manageable because the cost of fuel was affordable at 600 kwacha per liter. This had a positive ripple effect on the prices of goods and services. Commodities such as sugar, Azam washing soap, soya pieces, and cooking oil were reasonably priced that every Malawian could afford. Madam Speaker, inflation was kept in check at single digit, between 7 and 9%. In fact, the macroeconomic policies of the DPP-led administration ensured that money circulated among ordinary citizens rather than being concentrated among selected few. Madam Speaker, forest reserves were stable with an import cover of more than 6 months. Under Professor Mutarika's leadership, Malawi was able to import essential commodities without experiencing forex shortages. Despite these achievements, the current administration had the audacity to label the DPP government as rubble. President Chakwera claimed that he was elected to correct the prevailing state of affairs, which he described as plagued by corruption, an overpowerful executive, and poor governance. He promised servant leadership, equitable health care under universal health coverage, modern schools with adequate teaching materials, the creation of 1 million jobs, and a revived ADMAC, among other lofty aspirations. Madam Speaker, 5 years later, Malawians
Kalima Southeast. Order, please. Order, please.
Madam Speaker, 5 years later, Malawians have assessed the promises made by the administration against the reality of their lived experiences. The findings are sobering. Therefore, Madam Speaker, I want to use the voices of Malawians themselves through what media has been covering, what authentic research institutions have been gathering, what various stakeholders such as religious leaders, civil society organizations have been saying, what think tanks such as Malawi Law Society, Economic Association of Malawi, Consumer Association of Malawi have been gathering and commenting, what observers have been saying, and more importantly, what ordinary Malawians have been discussing in the streets. Madam Speaker, recently, a research by Afrobarometer found that a staggering 76% of Malawians believe the country is headed in the wrong direction. In this survey, Malawians expressed dissatisfaction with the government's efforts to address economic issues. The survey indicated that Malawians see government doing a poor job of fighting corruption and food insecurity. By the way, Professor Arthur Peter Mutarika, the incoming president of the Republic of Malawi, was favored by Malawians. Afrobarometer is an internationally accredited research institution which uses credible and trustworthy research methodologies, and it reflected what Malawians were saying. This is not me. This is not the DPP. It is the voices of the people. Madam Speaker, the World Bank, in their Malawi Economic Monitor, reported that the country's economy continues to struggle due to rising inflation and a protracted macro fiscal crisis under the President Chakwera's administration. This report was titled The Rising Cost of Inaction, and it was published in January 2025. The report shows emphatically that the MCP government has no ability, capacity, and experience to manage and implement macroeconomic adjustment reforms and a series of recent shocks. Malawians should no longer worry because in September 2025, we are returning to a proven leadership of DPP under Professor Arthur Peter Mutarika, Bomala Peter Ili. Madam Speaker, while President Chakwera claimed to be fighting corruption, the Transparency International 2024 Corruption Perception Index scored Malawi 34 out of 100, citing bribery and corruption among public officials has risen during this regime. Madam Speaker, religious leaders' role in shaping politics and democracy cannot be overemphasized. The opposition would like to commend the constant wisdom shared by the Church, although President Chakwera and his MCP government turned their backs to all the guidance. No wonder Catholic bishops in their pastoral letter titled The Sad Story of Malawi said Malawians have witnessed a glaring failure of leadership. The bishops in their pastoral letter decried corruption and nepotism and faulted government officials for engaging in empty words in their speeches. Malawi is headed in Bagamoyo. Bishops lamented. Madam Speaker, Malawians, which the opposition is representing now, are staunch followers of the media. I and every Malawian knows the critical watchdog role the media plays at the time. I have a few highlights that I want to cite on what they have been covering on the state of the nation. On August 13, 2023, Times newspaper carried a news headline, "Report exposes financial mess in ministries, departments and agencies." The report was written by Rebecca Chimjeka. The report was based on analysis by the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament, which revealed significant financial mismanagement in MDAs, citing unauthorized contract alterations, over-expenditure, and misallocation of resources. All this is done under the leadership of NPC, MCP, and President Chakwera. On January 31st, 2024, the Nation News carried a headline, "Corruption Fight Weakens," an article which was written by Joseph Mwale. This story was based on the report by the Transparency International Corruption Perception Index, which indicated that Malawi's efforts against corruption have deteriorated. On 10th December 2024, Chimwemwe Mangazi carried a story titled "Cost of Leasing rises by 18.8% in 2024" on Times News. This story was based on an analysis by the Employers Consultative Association of Malawi. This article followed another one on 25th September 2024 by the same reporter, based on an analysis by the Center for Social Concern. On January 15, 2025, Nation Online carried an article titled "Term Cost of Living Crisis, Government Ad," which was also based on analysis by Center for Social Report. Madam Speaker, Malawians have also spoken on the lawlessness masterminded by the current President Chakwera administration. Malawians are saying that the very democracy which we fought for in 1992 that ushered it into multi-party era is quickly being eroded by the MCP government. These are some of the sentiments I've gathered on this. In March 2025, the Daily Times report titled "Armed Men Blocked Demonstration." The paper reported as a group of civil servants were protesting against a proposed 20% salary hike. A group of approximately 200 masked individuals wielding pangas and other weapons emerged from the botanical garden and attacked the protesters. 4 individuals were beaten and a female teacher, Monica Nkandawire, sustained head and arm injuries. This was condemned by the Human Rights Defenders Coalition, Gift Trapensa, and others, the police to arrest the perpetrators. Regrettably, Madam Speaker, these teachers, especially the leaders, are being harshly treated by their own government. As I speak, most of them have been transferred to very remote working stations. It is not right to transfer these teachers. Under the opposition, we demand that these transfers be reversed. Madam Speaker, even in our own house in Parliament here, we know our honourable members whose vehicles were damaged and were terrorized here. Everybody knows. This is regrettable and unacceptable. Up to now, the vehicle is there. Madam Speaker, I want to report here that Malawians saying no one has so far been arrested, and Malawians are saying why. Similar incidents occurred when vendors in Lilongwe were demonstrating against the rise in cost of living under the recent incident. Happened to DPP followers in Lilongwe and Ford followers at Imponera trading centers in Doha. Madam Speaker, it is unfortunate that all this is happening when the police that operates on Malawians' taxes are watching. and cannot protect the very same taxpayers. This was also noted in 2024 when the Nation newspaper reported with a title, quote, unquote, Police Turn Spectators by George Singini, when the same masked men pounced on demonstrators who were trying to deliver a petition against the Malawi Electoral Commission. Madam Speaker, other opposition parties in Malawi joined hands with Malawi Congress Party to form an alliance to remove the DPP government in 2020. They managed to do this through sponsored demonstrations. Malawians are reminding President Chakwera that President Arthur Peter Mutharika did not act against those demonstrations because he respects the right to demonstrate and the right of assembly. Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika is a Democrat. Madam Speaker, President Chakwera's administration has proved very incompetent, very corrupt, and regularly thrived on untrue and exaggerated achievements over the past 5 years. Here are some highlights from the voices of Malawians. President Chakwera in November 2022 signed a memorandum of understanding with the Belgian-based Bridging Foundation, reportedly securing $6.8 billion, with Chakwera's hailing this as early Christmas gift for Malawians. Malawians are asking, where is their gift, Mr. President? In a Nation newspaper reported titled, No $6.8 billion early Christmas gift yet, that was published on November 29, 2023. Signaling nothing from the agreement, Chakwera said not the truth to Malawians. Madam Speaker, interestingly, even those parties that form an alliance against DPP administration in 2020 have ganged up against the MCP administration, citing its incompetence in running government. Just this year, UTM criticized President Chakwera for not saying the truth about his administration's achievement during his State of the Nation address SONA of 2020. This appeared in the Times of 17 February 2025 titled, quote, UTM government face-off over SONA, reported by Mese Matonga. Chakwera did not say the truth to Malawians. Madam Speaker, it seems that failure to say the truth are in the DNA of the current administration. In the Nation newspaper of 15 March 2025, there's a report titled, quote, Tempers Right as Minister Explains Food Situation, unquote, by Stephen Pemba Moyo. The report states that the Minister of Agriculture provided false figures on the availability of maize in the country. He is not here. Madam Speaker, Malawi lacks political leadership. Malawians have spoken. Malawi needs to return quickly to the proven leadership of Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika. The economy is in very bad shape. In the Nation newspaper of 15th March 2024, a University of Malawi political analyst, Ernest Tindwa, said that Malawi lacks political leadership. Tindwa was saying this in response to a survey report which found that 9 in every 10 Malawians believe the economy has deteriorated. The report was done by Eric Ntemangombe. Madam Speaker, Malawi lacks political leadership. The cost of living is biting Malawians. As of February 2025, the cost of living has jumped to 13.9%. This is also reflected in the Daily Times newspaper report of 25th March 2025 by Chimwemwe Mangazi. We need a return to proven leadership of Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika quickly. Madam Speaker, in recent years, Malawi has faced a number of shocks ranging from economic downturns, including the pandemic, cyclones, and climate change shocks. These have been devastating impacts on the economic and social well-being of the people. The question is, what are the current President Chakwera's administration done to mitigate these shocks and ensure that living conditions are protected? Sadly, Madam Speaker, the government responses have been found wanting. quoting editorial comment of the Daily Times newspaper of 20 February 2025 titled, quote, "Leadership is proven in moments of crisis," unquote. The Chakwera administration failed miserably to demonstrate leadership when this country was faced by crisis. Madam Speaker, as I speak, people that were affected by Cyclone Friday are still in appalling condition with no help, and they are failing to recover. Malawians are failing to recover from climate shocks that have brought hunger. Likewise, Malawians have not yet recovered from the 44% devaluation and the other inflationary pressure, including forex shortages, that have hit this country, making lives and doing business unbearable. When Malawians were expecting to see President Chakwera taking decisive steps to mitigate these shocks, unfortunately, he was busy wasting government resources, traveling everywhere with bloated delegation. Madam Speaker, we cannot ignore the voices of the people. The citizens of Malawi, through survey, media reports, and personal testimonies, have made it clear that they have enough of this administration failure. Malawians are looking for a change. The time has come for Malawi to return to proven leadership. Yes. We need a leader who understands the economic challenges of our country. Yes. Some who has demonstrated the ability to lead Malawi through difficult times. That leader is Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika. Under his leadership, Malawi saw economic stability, affordable prices, yes, and policies that work for the benefit of the people. Madam Speaker, let me express my disappointment with the way Parliament has managed its deliberations in this chamber. I've said this before, and let me repeat it. For the first time in the history of Parliament, we have witnessed speakership that has not been impartial. We question many times decisions made from your office on several issues, such as the lack of enforcement of Section 65. For the first time, we have witnessed speakership that has not been impartial. We have questioned many times decisions made from your office on several issues, such as the lack of enforcement of Section 65. Madam Speaker, let me cite other important issues that have not been handled impartially. Think how the issue of leader of opposition was handled by your office. Think of how the issue of chairmanship of Public Accounts Committee has been handled by your office. It is important that the office of the Speaker should be impartial and independent. Madam Speaker, as we approach the elections in the next 5 years, the choice is clear. It is time to restore Malawi to the path of prosperity, leadership, and accountability. The people have spoken, and they are demanding a return to the proven leadership of Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika. Madam Speaker, as we approach the September 16 election, let me emphasize that the opposition has lost confidence in the Malawi Electoral Commission to conduct a credible, fair, and free elections. There have been instances the MEC has not been transparent enough to stakeholders on the process of the election. The greatest disappointment has already expressed by many stakeholders is the involvement of the smartmatic machine to manage the registration process of the election. In fact, stakeholders allowed the smartmatic during registration but will not be entertained any further. That smartmatic that winako tingo chitamanyo. Madam Speaker, let me also emphasize here that almost all stakeholders are saying the same thing. They have tolerated the MEC, but will not allow it to impose systems that stakeholders are suspicious of. Madam Speaker, all stakeholders are saying voting and accounting of election will be done manually and not using a system we cannot trust. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, let me quote, as I quoted before, Shakespeare, Julius Caesar, that the evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred into their bones. I repeat, the evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones. This implies that the MCP government will be remembered for having taken over government on false promises, and they have failed. They will be remembered for this. This government was an accident that happened to Malawi. This accident should not have happened. This government was an accident that happened to Malawi. This accident should not have happened. The good news anyway is that Malawians have judged them. The good news anyway is that Malawians have judged them. And quoting Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika's favorite verse from the book of Daniel chapter 5, verse 27. You have been weighed in the balances and found wanting, Perez. Your kingdom has been divided and given to the Medes and Persians. Malawians are going to divide the government among the opposition led by Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika on 16 September 2024. Thank you very much and wish you a good day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Leader of Opposition. I know I'm not supposed to respond to your statement. Thank you very much, Honorable Leader of Opposition. I'm not supposed to respond to your statement, but I just wanted to put a few things straight. I think it's not open secret that even, I think it was the newspaper last week, wrote about the speakers in terms of our determination on Section 65. We did the process, and this has happened with all speakers. Before you make a determination, there's a court order. And once there's a court order, there's nothing that the speakers can do. And the newspaper made it clear it was not just my office, even the previous speakers. But I know why you are targeting me. It's because I'm a woman. Because this has happened with all previous speakers. Thank you. Leader of the House.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, the first woman to be elected the Speaker of the National Assembly in Malawi. Madam Speaker, let me now turn to one of the historical gender milestones that this country has witnessed under the leadership of Dr. Lazarus Chakwera. We can disagree as politicians on many fronts, but one thing that we have not disagreed during these past years we have been in this House is the fact that for the first time the country decided to elect a woman Speaker of the National Assembly. I must hasten to commend the State President for making a deliberate policy in our party, the mighty Malawi Congress Party, that view women as capable leaders who have their capacity to transform this country in all areas of the economy. President Chakwera has taken a legacy forward and entrusted women with responsibilities that are capable, that they are able and capable to deliver. There have been concerted efforts by this government to ensure that women are no longer at the lower rungs of the social strata. Hence, you have seen that even in the cabinet, we have several women leading very critical ministries. Allow me, therefore, to ask the whole House to stand up and clap hands in honor of our first female Speaker of the National Assembly, Madam Catherine Godanhara, who has taken care of us in this House. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. As a nation, we must change the way we do things. Women have not been restricted to issues related to women. We need to channel their capabilities beyond the agenda. And this has been Chakwera's mantra and signature. The president has appointed several women in very critical positions. Just to mention a few: the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Nancy Tembo; the Minister of Health, Honorable Kumbize Kandodo Chipondo; the Minister of Basic Education, Honorable Mada Widima; the Minister of Higher Education, Honorable Dr. Jesse Kabwira; the Minister of Tourism, Honorable Vera Kantukure; the Minister of Gender, Honorable Jean Mona Wauza Sendeza; the Minister of Defense in History, Honorable Monica Changanamun; the Minister of Water and Sanitation, Honorable Abida Sidik Mia. And we have capable deputies. The Deputy Minister of Water, Honorable Rihanna Chapota Muntai; Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Patricia Nangozo; and Honorable Deputy Minister of Local Government Unity and Culture, Honorable Joyce Chichuro. Speaker, the President did not stop there. The President appointed Honorable Halima Daud, the Minister of Gender, my own sister from Doha. That Honorable Speaker, the President appointed Secretary for the President Office of President and Cabinet, my Colinism, a woman. And above all, the Inspector General of Police, Madam Merin Yolam, a woman. This signifies how and why we all must embrace what the President is doing, putting women in the right position. And these women have done a wonderful job in this country. I stand here, Madam Speaker, 5 years ago as I was appointed leader of government business in this August House. And this, Madam, is historical, because from where I come from and my background, I never expected it. And it was a great honor that His Excellency the President, Dr. Lazarus Makafi Chakwera, trusted me with this big office. Today, as my tenure comes to an end, and a few months to come, most of us who go home to seek re-election from our bosses, who are our voters out there. It is with utmost humility that I once again express my profound gratitude to His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Makafi Chakwera, the President of the Republic of Malawi, and the President of the mighty MCP for appointing me as leader of the House. The appointment was a demonstration of the trust that the President Chakwera has in young men, and someone who has served in the party as the National Youth Director. I don't take this for granted, and I really want to thank him. But as I thank him, we want to thank him together, because, Madam Speaker, you know, Section 89, subsection 4 of our Constitution demands that elected presidents of our country should come to the House, present themselves, present the state of the nation address, and later on come to answer questions.
Historically, it is the president of this country, Dr. Lazarus Makafi Chakwera, who has been coming to this house ever since he was elected. I must mention, however, that Dr. Bagiri Muluzi once came in this house. But after Dr. Bagiri Muluzi, no any other presidents came to answer questions in this house. They had to run away. They didn't want to face Malawians. But Dr. Chakwera respected the constitution and indeed came to answer questions, difficult questions from honorable members. And I want to thank him because through him, we enacted laws to empower the National Assembly. For the first time, we enacted laws to make Parliament independent. The independence of Parliament was done under his leadership. As we speak now, Madam Speaker, the National Assembly, our corporate body, which is now a constitutional body, this was done under the leadership of His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Makafi Chakwera. And just to thank him and all members of Parliament seated here who appreciate this, if there is a president who has taken care of the welfare of members of Parliament and welfare of staff, Dr. Chakwera has done it and has made it. I can say that again. The president has taken care of members of Parliament and the welfare of staff in the National Assembly. Just to add more, Madam Speaker, the president has made sure there is development across the country by raising the Constituency Development Fund. Historically, Constituency Development Fund was not raised the way Dr. Chakwera has done in this cohort. Dr. Chakwera raised it from 29 million up to 220 million. One funny thing, Madam Speaker, when we go out of this chamber, because here there are so many cameras, our colleagues from the other side, they are able to attribute this and say, the president is good. The president has allowed that each and every corner of our country receives equal support, and that is development. And for that reason, Madam Speaker, you and me has testified quite a lot of development taking place across the country. And I can stand here and talk about so many developments, but the president did allude that in the State of the Nation address. The State of the Nation address was meant for Malawians to understand how his government has been doing it. Is there hope for Malawi? Yes, there's hope for Malawi. There is hope for Malawi when we pass a budget here under the able leadership of my colleague, Honorable Simplex Tichola Banda, where you see the Department or the Ministry of Education getting over 1.3 trillion historically to support the education sector. There is hope for Malawi. Hope because Dr. Chakwera is constructing 11,000 school blocks across the country. That is hope even for the young people out there. There is hope for Malawi when Dr. Chakwera has promoted over 7,000 teachers across the country, just less than 3. There is hope for Malawi when Dr. Chakwera has made sure that students that are able to want to access public universities must access public universities. I've highlighted this so many times when I've stood in this house, Madam Speaker. When we took over government, there were quite a number of young people in the private sector, in the public institutions, that were failing to access tertiary education. As we took over government, we found only 8,900 students, and there was a gap of more than 15,000 students. Today, Dr. Chakwera has raised that number to over 30,000 students are getting support each and every year. You just saw that institution, the loans board, announcing and asking every young Malawian who is in the public university to apply so that they get support. And there is hope for those young people because indeed, in this budget that we passed in this house, there is money for over 30,000 young people. Not only money for tuition, but money even for their welfare, which Dr. Chakwera raised from 150 kwacha right now to 550,000 kwacha. Madam Speaker, is there hope for the road infrastructure in this country? There is huge hope, Madam Speaker. Just in this sitting, we have concluded making sure there's financing for the much awaited Maganjira-Mangochi Road. Now we have enough resources to start that road, which was neglected by so many governments that were there in the past. There is huge hope, Madam Speaker. If you go to Maganjira, it's only 145 kilometers, that whole stretch. But for all these years, no one thought about that road. The hope has been there. The money has been secured. Construction will start soon. And that is why there is hope in Dr. Lazarus Makafe Chakwera. Is there hope for the people of Nkota-Kota, Baraka, all the way to Nkatape? Yes, there is hope, because Dr. Chakwera is constructing the M5 road. Madam Speaker, there is hope for them, because that road was neglected for many years. Is there hope for the people of Lilongwe? Madam Speaker, you can testify. Lilongwe is completely changing. Roads everywhere, 6 lanes everywhere. If you go all the way from Kaunda to all the way to 49 to 25, the contractors on the ground. If you go from Area 25 all the way to Kanengo, the contractors on the ground. Look at the roads. Look at the beauty of Lilongwe. All this is because there is hope in Dr. Lazarus Makafe Chakwera. If you ask me, is there hope for the people of Umsipe? Machinga Likwenu can testify. Now the contractor from Liwonde all the way to Zomba is on site, madam. There is hope for the people of Machinga. There is hope for the people of Liwonde. There is hope for the people of Zomba, because Chakwera is delivering for them. Is there hope, Madam Speaker, for the people of Mangochiboma? There is hope, because the people of Mangochiboma can testify that the municipal roads are being done and constructed right now. Madam Speaker, I can go and go and go and go. There is hope for the people of Kalonga, because they have seen now that the contractors are there. The M1 road that starts from here in Lilongwe all the way to Kalonga. Contractors are on site, madam. You go to Chiweta, contractors on site. You go to Kasungu, contractors on site. You go to Doha, contractors on site. There is hope for the nation under the leadership of His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Makafe Chakwera. I can go and talk about the rail transport, madam. For the first time, indeed, we have seen the rail transport coming back. 4-5 days ago, the Agriculture Development and Marketing Corporation, ADMAC, received 1,000 metric tons of maize through rail. Madam, there is hope in the country for our people. Is there hope for those vulnerable farmers on the ground there? Yes, there is hope, because in the budget that we passed 1 week ago in this house, Dr. Chakwera has put 131 billion to continue with affordable input program for this year. There is huge hope, Madam Speaker, for the people. Is there hope to end hunger? There's hope, because Dr. Chakwera has put 99 billion kwacha for irrigation in this country. There is hope for the people out there. And there is hope because there is 61 billion kwacha targeting NIF loans just for farmers out there. There is hope for our farmers out there. And before I forget, madam, there is hope because we are continuing with Agricom. An institution that is putting cooperatives together to make sure they access laws, and then they grow and market themselves, add value, export, and also make sure the families are safe. Madam Speaker, there is hope when I go and talk about the health sector. There is hope. I was just conferring with my sister, Honorable Kumbi, there. Through Dr. Lazarus Chakwera alone, his government has constructed over 140 health posts across the country. But with partners out there, institutions and NGOs, the figure is now growing closer to 200. There is huge hope. There is huge hope when Dr. Chakwera has employed over 22,000 health workers up to date. And just recently, Madam Speaker, there is hope because Dr. Chakwera's government has advertised 7,000 new positions for health workers in the country. There is hope, Madam Speaker, because very soon we'll be opening the cancer center, the much awaited cancer center. There is hope in this country, Madam Speaker, when we have got CT scans in all referral hospitals. There is hope, Madam Speaker, when we have got MRI machines across the country. And when we have got oxygen plants across the country. Is there hope for Malawians? Yes, there is hope under the leadership of Dr. Lazarus Makafe Chakwera. I can go and go and go and talk so many things. Madam, my speech is so long. For the first time, I'll make sure that I share this speech to my colleagues and the general public to see why we say Dr. Chakwera's government, there is hope. My good friend, my mentor, who one time I was chair of youth in Mwanza, Honorable Nicholas Daus, was once a Minister of Homeland Security and a publicity secretary for the DPP. He was quizzed by Brian Banda. How many houses have you built in this country under your government? That was the longest answer I've ever seen in this country. He took time trying to deliberate and answer, how many houses have you built under the Minister of Lands, Homeland and Defense? Madam, the able MP, the wonderful MP, the eloquent MP, was squeezed to the corner. They couldn't say anything else. Today, when we say Dr. Chakwera is constructing 4,000 houses, it is the people of Chitipa, it is the people of Kalonga, it is the people of Chikwawa, it is the people of Luchenza, it is the people of Blantyre who can answer that question. It is not for me, it is not for Honorable Gumba, it is not for Honorable Ezekiel Chingoma, it is for these people. That's why there is hope for the police service, there is hope for the immigration service, and there is hope for the defense service. Is there hope for Malawi in terms of leadership? Yes, there is hope. There is hope because for the first time, the president introduced the National Unity Day called Umozi Day. Madam Speaker, Umozi Day, the intention is to bring Malawians together. The intention is to make us one. No Lomwe, no Yao, no Ngoni, no Tumbuka, no Nsena, no Nkonde. We are one, and we must remain one. And it has been seen by the president how he chooses his ministers, how he promotes people across the country. It is merit-based, Right Honorable Speaker. Time is gone where we talk about quota system. When Chakwera came into government, the first week he abolished the quota system. Madam Speaker, as I speak now, young people from the north, young people from the south, young people from the center are selected to the universities because of merit. It's no longer quota. No one sits down to decide and choose who goes to the universities. It's Dr. Chakwera who abolished the quota system. The people of the north who were the victims now can celebrate and smile because in the leadership of Dr. Chakwera, they have seen a president who doesn't favor any sector or any side of the country. Is there hope, Madam Speaker, for the people of the north? Yes, there is hope. Go to Mzuzu. Can you go and see the multi-story building that His Excellency is building for the Mzuzu City Council? The National Youth Center, which His Excellency is constructing right away there in Mzuzu. Madam Speaker, there is hope because in the budget we have put here, there is Mombela University resources. Madam, there is hope for the people of the north because the much content, the Rumpi, Chitipa, Nika Road, there is resources in this budget. There is hope for the people of the north. There is hope for all Malawians because of his leadership. And that's the leadership of Dr. Chakwera. The leadership that has made sure all of us receives funding in our constituencies at the same time. There is hope because of his foreign policy. Madam, when the donors ran away in the country, for the first time, we have now started receiving budgetary support from our donors. The budget that we are getting, Madam, is hoping to increase resource availability at local council and local level. Today, as a minister responsible for local government, I can attest and assure you there is no any other time that councils have received funding more than the way they have done in the time of His Excellency, Dr. Lazarus Makape. There is GSED 1, there is now coming of GSED 2.0. And there's a regional climate resilience program, which is also costing a lot of money to the councils. There is hope for Malawians. There is hope for Malawians. And I'm aware, Madam Speaker, I'm aware that dreaming is a natural right that God gives us. I'm aware that even a child who is under the age of 5 dreams. And I'm aware that people are dreaming of coming back. That much I'm aware. Madam Speaker, those who remain dreams forever. Those who remain dreams forever. There is a right to dream. And I'm aware aware that UDF wants to come back to power. I'm aware. And I salute you because you are the mother of democracy. And in times when we have been opposing each other here, you have remained in this house to oppose. Other parties have been running away, but you have always remained in this house. And I want to congratulate you for that. But if you ask me whether you are coming back or not, that remains a dream. Don't worry. Dreams are dreams. I'm aware that the DPP party wants to come back to government. I'm sorry, even in those dreams, there's a confusion. People are fighting in those dreams, madam. They can never come back to power. DPP should forget of coming back to power, Madam Speaker. Come 16 September 2025, His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Makafe Chakwera will be sworn again as the next president of the Republic of Malawi. You can plan, you can meet, you can talk, you can take radios and music, pray around, you can do whatever you are doing, but just plan how are we going to stay longer in the opposition. There is nothing else that is going to happen come 16 September 2025. This I can tell you. And I'm aware that even before elections, Madam Speaker, even before a campaign calendar is announced, some people are saying, I'm aware they have already considered defeat, and I'm aware, madam. But democracy is there. Malawi Congress Party for 26 years were able to allow our colleagues to go on and go on because they were announced that they were winners. We respected democracy. Let's not stand out and say we will not accept results. You must accept results. And can I ask you, please train yourself to accept the reality. Because come 17 September 2025, nothing is going to change. Madam Speaker, I'm aware that it's normal and natural for people to work together. It's normal and natural for alliances to come in. It's normal and natural. I'm aware that people now, they are trying to position themselves for alliances. It's normal during elections. And for the next 40 days, there's going to be drama in this country, Madam Speaker. Drama and drama. The people that you are talking to are also talking to everyone. And that's democracy. There's going to be drama and drama. But I can tell you one thing. At the end of the day, Malawi Congress Party will be announced as a winner in 2016 elections. And as I said 2 days ago, Madam Speaker, the best alliance in this country is the alliance that you make with Malawians. Make Malawians your partner. Yesterday or 3 days ago, I saw a woman who sold tobacco at the auction floors. And she went out viral and she was complaining. So we went out there and said, come on, tell us what is happening. You mean when the president comes here, buys tobacco, you give good prices. When the president goes out there, you give bad prices. We went out there, 3 or 4 of us. We followed it up, Madam Speaker, only to find that that was the lowest grade of the tobacco on that day. Let me assure farmers in this year that this government, as it has done in the last 3 years, under the leadership of His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Makafe Chakwera, we are going to make sure our farmers, our tobacco farmers, enjoy their prices in all the markets, be it in Limbe, be it at Chinkoma, be it at Kanengo, be it in Mzuzu. We are going to make sure our farmers get the best prices. And that, Madam Speaker, is not only for tobacco, it is for soya, it is for soya, it is for groundnuts and for maize, Madam Speaker. Be assured, times of manipulating prices for our farmers, where they could sell on Andolo at 50 kwacha and 80 kwacha, that time is gone under the leadership of His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Makafe Chakwera. Time where farmers were being sold 50 cents tobacco per kg, that time is gone under the leadership leadership of His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Makafi Chakwera. Let me assure the farmers, and this is a message from himself, the President, when he attended the auction floors, that the farmers will celebrate and their sweat will not go in vain. As I want to wind up, Madam Speaker, first of all, let me thank you. You are the best speaker we have ever had in the country. Let me thank the first deputy speaker, Kamacheni Anamuna Mpunde. Let me appreciate him for the wonderful role that he has done in this country. In absentia, let me thank the second deputy speaker, Madam Aisha Mambo. I want to thank her and congratulate her for what she did in this country. Let me thank the clerk of parliament and our members of staff, the table clerks, all the researchers for parliament, everyone else who has been working, including those that have been sweeping our floors, those that have been typing for us. You have done a wonderful job in this sitting of parliament. You have given your best. If Parliament has succeeded, it has succeeded because of you. Wherever you are going, just know, as we continue 2016, we shall make sure that even the welfare of members of Parliament and members of staff has been taken care of. By 16 September 2025, Madam Speaker, let me thank my fellow leaders in the House. I'll first start to thank Dr. Nankuma, in absentia, the leader of opposition, who worked with me and who advised me as a young person, who came to me and said, "Leader, this is the way to go. Leader, this is the way to go." I want to thank Dr. Nankuma for what he did. Let me thank Honorable Ned Poya, the leader of UDF, for what he has done under my leadership. He came and supported me in terms of that. Last year, Dr. Chaponda, you came, supported me. I want to thank you and appreciate you for what you have done under my leadership. You have been a good man. Out there, people think you're a bad person, but you and me working together, you are a good man. And wherever you are, may God bless you. Madam Speaker, let me appreciate. Madam Speaker, let me appreciate all the parliamentary service commissioners. And I'll start with one lady that I respect and I shall continue to respect, Madam Patel, in absentia. Wherever you are, receive your flowers. You are a very strong woman, a woman of substance. And I want to thank all commissioners that have done a good job for Parliament to do well. I want to thank Honorable Axon Kalaire Banda, the new commissioner. Thank you so much, my dear brother. Madam Speaker, let me thank all parliamentary chairpersons, the parliamentary chairpersons that have been bringing business on the table, that have been discussing issues on the table. Together, we have done over 100 bills together. It was not myself, it was everybody else who has done that. I want to thank you for everything that I've done. Let me turn to my side. I did this job alone, Madam Speaker. I had capable ministers, very well articulating ministers. All ministers in the Chakwera government has contributed immensely to the development of this National Assembly and the work that has been done in this House. And I want to thank you, my colleagues. You have done a very good job. And indeed, when Chakwera retains power, I hope you retain your positions. Madam Speaker, I was not alone in the leadership of this on this side. I had my deputy leader, the Chizukuru Changwaz, Honorable Kumbize Kandodo Chiponda. I want to thank you for the support you gave me. But side by side, I stood with a young man. Madam Speaker, I stood side by side with my dear brother. He's also a pastor. Sometimes he would pray for me. Honorable Jacob Hara. Thank you so much. You have done a good job. Mzara, Mshindi is going to learn data. In absentia, my dear brother, wherever you are, you might be listening for me. Honorable Simplex Sichola, the Deputy Chief Whip. Thank you so much for the wonderful job. I want to thank few people that have related and allow me. It may displease others, but I want to say it. Honorable Brighton Saka, Senior Counsel, thank you so much. I would come to you and ask for wisdom. You did not take party directions, but you advised me, and thank you so much. Thank you for what you have done. Honorable Laf Juma, thank you. Honorable Ben Piri, my classmate, destimate, thank you so much for what you have done. I've argued with one man so much in this house, but every time I argue with him, when we go out, he calls me, brother, where are you? Honorable Same Suleiman, Honorable Zimba North, these are my brothers. But above all, the longest brother ever is Honorable Kamlepo Kalua. I want to thank you, senior citizen. Madam Speaker, but the whole House can stand and thank Honorable Namachekecha for what he has done for the last week. He has done a great thing in the House. Amwe, Mulungu azikala nano amwe. Mwadipulu Musa. Madam Speaker, I have so many friends. I can mention quite a lot. This side has somebody else by the name Honorable Chirapondwa, the leader of backbencher. Honorable Chamblanyina, the deputy leader. In absentia, the most entertaining person of our session, Honorable Musowa. Honorable Musowa, always entertaining and always available when you need him. Madam Speaker, I'm told I have to thank the landlord, otherwise I'll be chased away. Honorable Tia, thank you so much. I wish all members of Parliament the best as we go back to campaign. The only thing that I will do as I wear another cap of a Secretary General of the Mighty Party is to ask you, let's go out there and make sure people don't fight because of elections. Let's not entertain violence. And you and me can take a reading law to make sure there's no violence in this country. Elections have been there. We are not the first ones to occupy these offices. There are people who occupy these offices. If people don't want us, it's up to the people. Let's not force them. Let's not fight them. Let's work together. We shall meet again here. But one thing for sure, Dr. Jagwera is returning power. Make your decisions very well. Sit down and think. Make your decisions very well. I've been reminded, now that's a party issue. My own mentor, the one who taught me I should stand for the director of youth, Honorable Zikale Ngoma, who saw me and said, can you stand as director of youth for the Mighty Party? That Honorable Speaker, I can speak and speak. But I know this is not the end of our meetings. There will be other meetings that we're going to talk about. The young man, Baba Malonde, is not here. He's in Lusaka, but wherever he is, receive his flowers. Madam Speaker, I might have stepped on the toes of others in my duty, and that's life. And I ask for your forgiveness. I'm a good person. I'm a father. I have 2 kids. I married in Cholo. I relate to the people of the South. I'm here. I relate to the people of the North. If I ever stepped on your toes during the course of my time, forgive me, and I also forgive you. Let's go and save our people. Madam Speaker, with these few remarks, I would like to move that we rise, Sandai. I beg to move, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Leader. Thank you very much, Leader. Honorable members, can I have order, honorable members? Before I put the question on the adjournment motion, as moved by the honorable leader of the House, I have very few remarks to make. Honorable members, As we come to the end of this first meeting in the 51st session of Parliament, I would like to congratulate you, honourable members, and the leadership from both sides of the House for the manner in which you have executed your respective roles in processing business in the House. I also wish to express my deep appreciation to my fellow honourable colleagues, the First Deputy Speaker Kazombo and Second Deputy Speaker Aisha Adams, for their commitment to duty which they displayed throughout the meeting and their contribution in ensuring that we have a smooth Parliament. Allow me to also recognize and profoundly thank His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Makafe Chakwera, President of this country, for honoring his constitutional duty to appear before Parliament and respond to members' questions as stipulated under Standing Order 70B. This House does not take this gesture for granted. It demonstrates that our parliamentary democracy is progressing. Let me also extend my heartfelt appreciation to the leadership of the House, the Leader of the House, the Leader of Opposition, the Chief Whip, and his Deputy Whips, from the opposition chairpersons of committees, leaders of backbenchers, and once again to all honourable members for your unwavering commitment and dedication to your duty, which has made the functioning of this House a success during this meeting and all previous meetings. Honourable members, in this regard, I would like to bring to your attention that as provided for under Section 67(1) of the Constitution, the National Assembly shall stand dissolved on 23rd day of July 2025. I wish to take this opportunity to commend all of you for your tireless efforts since we were elected into office in 2019. We are the privileged Parliament which has been granted this opportunity to serve as members of Parliament for a period of 6 years. In particular, I feel greatly humbled and honoured to serve as the Speaker of this Parliament and indeed as the first female Speaker of Parliament of Malawi, and I would like to say thank you to all of you for electing me. Furthermore, I wish to commend you, honourable members, for your support during my entire tenure of office. I do not take this gesture for granted. It is worth noting that every time I summon you to come to attend to any meeting of Parliament, you have always demonstrated your willingness and commitment to serve the people of this country and in an unwavering manner by attending to all parliamentary business as representatives for your people. For this noble gesture, I say thank you very much, all of you. Honourable members, my words cannot ably express the gratitude within me, and I shall ever be grateful to this cohort. At this juncture, we thank God for making it possible that we have reached this far, for the graces bestowed upon us during the entire 6-year period we've been serving this nation. During this period, we've seen a number of achievements, which include transforming Parliament into an e-chamber system, automation of Parliament, having paperless Parliament, conducting first ever meeting of Parliament outside the chamber, establishing parliamentary television, introduction of recreation facilities for members, holding a record number of positions in parliamentary organization, and also for the first time we had 2 ladies chairing constitutional committees under my leadership. That is the chair for public appointments and chair for budget. It's the first time that we've had women chairing those committees. And I know that it was not easy to keep these women chairing these committees, but I did put my foot down to say, under my leadership, we shall maintain these 2 women to chair the committees. It was not easy because You know that not all of us believe in women leadership, but thank you for those who supported our cause. Honorable members, I would also like to thank the parliamentary organization, including improving members and staff welfare through the efforts of Parliamentary Service Commission. In a special way, therefore, may I express my gratitude to all commissioners throughout the term of 6 years for their outstanding performance during their term of office. Again, all these achievements were due to your support and cooperation, honorable members. Lastly, but not least, my sincere appreciation should also go to the Secretariat led by the Clerk of Parliament and all members of staff for the support they have given to my office, and to all honourable members during this meeting of Parliament and all meetings before this during the past 6 years. As we return to our constituencies, honourable members, I wish you all the best. I know that most of us will be returning to the constituencies to face the realities of primaries. Allow me once again to wish you all the best. It is my hope that we will all return to this house come September 16. And let me give you 2 quotes. Go confidently in the direction of your dream. And the second one is keep your face always towards the sunshine, and shadows will follow behind you. This was by Wade Whitman. You want me to repeat? Keep your face always towards the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you. This was one done by Wade Whitman. I wish to, I must, again, for the last time. Okay, for the last time. Open of quote, keep your face always towards the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you. This is a quote by Wade Whitman. Honorable members, before I adjourn the House and I put the question, I've got a few announcements to make. First is to tell everybody that we shall miss each other. I'm sure we'll miss each other here very, very much, but I know that we are all coming back. And I wish next time we had a list of, well, only if we get an emergency or something. It doesn't mean that it is impossible. It is possible we can come back, but as of now, let's treat this as our last parliament. Honorable members, we have 15 students from Chancellor College, Department of Political Affairs and Administration Studies. Students from Chancellor College, 15 of them. Please stand. If you're still here, please stand. 15. Thank you very much. You're most welcome to Parliament of Malawi. Thank you for coming to Parliament of Malawi. And just to state that I was also a student in that same Department of Political and Administrative Studies. So most welcome to Parliament of Malawi. We have Rastafarian Church, 20 visitors. They are coming from Kawale, Nyabingi. 20 Rastafarians. Most welcome. Most welcome to Parliament of Malawi. And we also have visitors from Zimba South constituency. Mzimba South, Warendo Mafumagu Mzimba South, Ilimirirani. Mzimba South kwa Honorable Chambranyina. Tampokererani, most welcome to Parliament. And we have visitors from Honorable Government Chief Whip, Honorable Jacob Hara. Mafuma kwa Honorable Jacob Hara imirirani. Tampokererani na mokuyawiri. We have visitors from Chitipa East, Honorable Kezi Msukwa. These are pastors and reverends from Honorable Member for Chitipa East, Tampokererani. We also have visitors from Mangochi West constituency. Mangochi West constituency. Alendo majoga ku Mangochi West kwa Honorable Kanyama. Takula Njirani. I hope I have covered all the visitors. You are most welcome. I hope we've covered everybody. And also I would like to thank all the media houses. You have always been here. Thank you very much for supporting Parliament, and thank you for being there for us. Oh, Honorable Member for Mzimba, you have visitors? Ao Mafumaku Kosoro, please, Imilirani. You are most welcome, Tampokererani, most welcome. I didn't get any communication. You are most welcome. But once again, I'll miss all of you. But let us always keep in touch. And I know Honorable Gamlepo, Honorable Suleimani, Honorable Mwawa, the noise makers, those that make a lot of noise, I'm sure. Oh, mental health. I didn't mention mental health, Honorable Blantasita. It's the Cholo South that is talking of mental health. I was not talking about mental health here. Thank you very much. But also to thank our first aid team. You're always here for us. Thank you very much for being there for us. And we can't forget those people in the cafeteria. They're always there for us. And also just to, whilst on that, just to announce that because today is our last day, the speaker is sponsoring a lunch for all of us in the cafeteria. So I'm inviting all of us to go for lunch in the cafeteria soon after adjournment. Well, around 12:30, because obviously. And as the leader has said, our term here for 6 years, I'm sure we have stepped on each other's toes and whatever, but we should always remember there is nobody in this world who's perfect, but we need always to remember and support each other, and let us continue the spirit of loving each other. Oh, is that the admission? You're not perfect. Thank you very much. I love you all and wishing you all the best. Honorable members, as a representation of all the clerks who have always been with us, can I ask the clerks in front to rise so that the House can... And we cannot forget the Sergeant at Arms and his team. Honorable members, ushers who carry all those love notes between us. Our team here at the back, our audiovisual team, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Our technicians, people in the Hansard, and everybody else, thank you and thank you and thank you. And all the people at the reception, the accounts, I think the accounts we definitely have to. The accounts department needs to be commended. CDH is your partner. CDH and all banks. CDH Bank. It has always been there for members of parliament. And I hope when we're coming back, we will not hesitate to continue keeping our accounts there, I'm sure. Thank you very much. I know there are quite a number of people and all our stakeholders. We've been having stakeholders who have been so good and so kind to us. We say thank you very much to all our stakeholders. And thank you very much to our cabinet ministers, our deputies, members of parliament, and all of us. Thank you and thank you. Leaders of backbenchers, leader of opposition, and all of us, thank you very much. With this, with these few remarks, sorry? Hey, Biscuit is the one that you're looking for. Biscuit. Thank you very much, Biscuit. And I'm sure wherever Old Mutual is, we are thanking them in advance. I hope they are hearing us. And Honorable Makande. And before Honorable Makande, I think there was Honorable Chimpeni, Honorable Chomanika, and so many other members. I'll never forget, I know who runs first to CDH, Sadala and the crew. Thank you very much. I know when Sadala is rushing to go to CDH, there's always Chapananga behind him, I know that. Honorable Berekanyam and everybody else, thank you very much. Landlord Gia, we can't forget Landlord Gia. Honorable Onani was our first leader of backbencher on the government side. Thank you very much. Honorable Jorobal and everybody in absentia for always standing on every point of order that is in the house. Thank you very much. And I'm sure Honorable Suleiman on 105, probably you get the record on 105. You get the record on 105, Honorable. And Salima Southwest for always making background noise, too much background noise. Honorable Ben Piri and everybody for making constructive contributions and debates on the floor. Thank you very much. Honorable Piso for always reminding me, Honorable Piso for the biggest no in this house. You get it. Honorable Kamulepo Karua, he's already protesting that I didn't mention his name. Honorable Kamulepo Karua. Thank you very much for mentoring the young MPs that we've had here. Thank you, Honorable Kamulepo Karua. Former Speaker Chimuntu Banda, he's been always humble. Honorable Maita Mbala, thank Thank you very, very much, Honorable Maitamba. And Honorable Tambala, I hear that you've declared that you're not standing. We're wishing you all the best in your next life. Thank you. Honorable Commissioner Maimpanga, for all the work that you do. Thank you. Honorable Nyamazukuru Zukuru, one of those that help us for Onankope, the ministers that help us for Onankope, thank you very much. Honorable Doa West always rising on a point of order. And supplementaries, when you tell him no, at least today give a chance. There's a Central East, thank you very much. And Honorable Gajawa for always blessing us in the house. Thank you very much. Of course, how can I forget you, my love, Honorable Namalom? Honorable Navicha, you are a leader of opposition for some time. Thank you very much, Honorable Navicha. Honorable Nedi Poya, thank you very much for always being there. And our veteran, who I know is probably coming back, Honorable Yona Kapante Ngoyona, thank you very much. Honorable members, I wish I could mention all of you. Everybody has got their unique. Oh, hey, Dadawiza Rumpi West. Chidipa Ntalile Road. And this is the last one for all the women in this house. For all the women, thank you very much. And I hope this time round we should not come back in 23%. We should make sure we get more of us in here. Thank you and thank you, thank you. Honorable Dause, I hope you're going to leave your dictionaries here. You see one of them, please donate them to us. Thank you very much for always being there. Honorable members, I wish I could mention all of you, but all I can say, all the young ones, the Sungamas and them all, they came here when they didn't have white beard, but now they have white beard. I don't know whether to call them young anymore, but thank you very much to all our young parliamentarians. And I would also like to thank our security personnel who have always been there for us on the gates and outside. Thank you and thank you and thank you. Honorable members, I now put the question. The question is that this parliament adjourns sun die. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Why are you rising, honorable members? Why are you rising? Division not granted.
Well, the National Assembly there winding up its business in the 2025-2026 budget meeting in what we would call an emotional moment. There has been an electric mood in the House characterized by moments of shared respect and adoration. Well, we go to the summary of the business for the day. The House started its deliberations with statutory reports, and that was under government business, where we have seen the Ministry of Justice lay at the table 5 statutory reports. Among them was a report of the Law Commission on the review of the Public Health Act, and the House then waived all relevant standing orders for reports to just be laid on the table instead of presenting them as per tradition. The House then moved to laying on the table of delegation and committee reports, where parliamentary committees on industry, trade and tourism, transport and public infrastructure are among those that laid their reports on the table. Under general business, the House went into questions on notice to ministers for oral replies, where Ministry of Transport and Public Works took questions from Zomba Sondole, Machinga South and Kasungu West, among others. Being the last day of sitting in the first meeting of Parliament, that's the first meeting in the 51st session, both leaders of the House and leader of opposition gave their adjournment remarks, which in a way give a picture of how business was conducted during the sitting. During the 8 weeks of sitting, the House has so far deliberated on business as follows. The House managed to pass 18 bills, and 6 pieces of subsidiary legislation were laid at the table. We also saw a total of 54 questions on notice to ministers for oral replies, and one of these 54 questions was Under Standing Order 69, as well as 2 matters of urgent public importance. We also saw the House tackle committee and delegation reports. These were 2 committee reports, as well as the House adopted 8 committee reports and 6 delegation reports. Meanwhile, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Right Honorable Catherine Kotanihara, MP, has adjourned the House, signed die, in other words, indefinitely. We will be right back after this. Stay tuned. Well, to those just tuning in, this is Parliament Television coming your way live, giving you the proceedings in the last day of sitting in the first meeting of Parliament in the 51st session, the 2025-2026 budget meeting of Parliament. We now roll back to the 8 weeks of Parliament with highlights of some of the items that stood out during this meeting, starting with the 14th of February 2025, when the State President of the Republic of Malawi, His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Makathi Chakwera, gave his 5th State of the Nation address in the House that was under the theme, Taking Our Development Forward to Continue the Progress We Have Delivered. Let's take a look.
Madam Speaker, 1,684. That is the number of days that I have passed since that crisp July morning on which I was inaugurated as the 6th President of the Republic of Malawi on our motherland's 56th birthday. On that historic day, I told the Malawian people that despite our victory over the dark forces that had stolen an election from them, the task they had given me as president to correct the decades-long mismanagement of our natural and national treasures and institutions would require all of us to endure what I called, quote, the pain of systemic surgery if we ever want to enjoy wholeness as a nation, end of quote. Today, it is clear that the systemic surgery we have undergone in the past 4 years has indeed been painful. In 2020, it was painful to some in the trucking business when I declared that I would focus on bringing Malawi's dead railway system back to life. That same year, it was also painful to some, Madam Speaker, when I declared that my administration would open a diplomatic mission in Israel to restore our lost friendship with a great friend of our people. And in 2021, again, it was painful to some when my administration gazetted and enforced an SME order to reserve some government contracts for local and Malawian-owned businesses, thus drying up the profits of those who had been profiting from giving most of those contracts to a few Asian businesses. That same period, it was painful to some when I decided to take a huge sum of money meant for healthy Malawians in some sectors and used it to save many thousands of Malawians sick from COVID, which had already killed over 1,000 people in a single month, including members of this House and senior members of my cabinet. And later that year, it was painful to some when I signed and enforced a new Employment Act to ensure that those who treat Malawian laborers like property would face consequences, just as it has been painful to many employers that I have twice raised the minimum wage so that it is now triple what it was when I took office.
An extract of the President of the Republic of Malawi, His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Makathi Chakwera, delivering his swana in Parliament on the 14th of February 2025, marking the beginning of the just ended 2025-2026 budget meeting of Parliament. Well, this was followed by the presentation of the 2025-2026 estimated budget statement by the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, that's Honorable Simplex Tichola Banda, on the 28th of February 2025. Here is an extract of the budget presentation.
It's on the recurrent and development calendar accounts for the 2025-26 budget of my government be referred to the Committee of the Whole House to be considered. Vote be approved and adopted. Speaker, in line with the requirement of Section 33, subsection of the Finance Management Act of 2022, I am mandated to present before this very august House a statement of government and expenditure for the next fiscal year. Madam Speaker, Madam, let me take this opportunity to thank the President, Dr. Makikathi Chakwera, President of the Republic of Malawi, for his visionary leadership in managing the country through the turbulent economic times. I would also like to thank my fellow cabinet ministers, honorable members of this august House, various MDAs, the private sector, non-governmental organizations, the faith-based organizations, civil society organizations, the academia, development partners, the youth and the general public for their support and contributions during the pre-budget consultations that my ministry conducted across the country. Madam Speaker, Madam, I stand before you today and this at a time when the country is facing setbacks. Since the country is in office in 2020, it has been navigating through various economic turbulences. As such, the economic landscape, Madam Speaker, has not evolved as anticipated, with persistent pressure on key indicators such as economic growth, exchange rates, inflation, and structural shifts in trade and production. Madam Speaker, Madam, the COVID-19 pandemic and the Ukraine geographical conflict affected global, regional, and domestic economic performance. Globally, Madam Speaker, according to the January 2025 World Economic Outlook, the economy is projected to grow at 3.3% in both 2025 and 2026 within the region. Economic growth has been rising from minus 1.6% in 2020 to 3.8% in 2024, which is still lower than the pre-pandemic growth targets.
That's the Honorable Minister of Finance on that day, 28th February 2025, presenting the estimated budget statement in the House. After this, the House broke into cluster committee meetings to scrutinize the allocations vote by vote. The House resumed sitting on 17th March 2025 and passed the 2025-2026 national budget pegged at 8.76 trillion kwacha. That was on Wednesday, the 26th of March 2025. Let us appreciate the passing of the budget.
Honorable members, you can now cough because I want to put a question. You can now clear your throat because I want to put a question. Honorable members, I now put the question that the sum of 8 trillion 76 billion 667 million 784,858 kwacha to be appropriated to the consolidated, recurrent, and capital accounts for the purpose set out in the recurrent and capital estimate. Those of that opinion, stay! And those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. budget has been passed by both opposition and government. Congratulations, Honorable Minister. Go ye and deliver. I've done my part. We have done our part. And the Malawians are happy. Leader of government, leader of opposition, congratulations. Mr. President, congratulations. God bless you. This marks the end of committee supply.
Chair, I would like to report that all the votes, starting from vote 050 to 560, have passed the Committee of Supply without amendment. I therefore beg to move that the sum of 8,676,784,858 kwacha be appropriated to the consolidated recurrent and capital accounts for the purposes set out in the recurrent and capital estimates. Chair, I beg to move.
Honorable members, there's a motion that the sum of 8,676,784,858 kwacha be consolidated to the current and capital accounts for the purpose set out in the current and capital estimates. Those of the opinion say aye, and those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion has carried. Therefore, the budget has passed. Congratulations, Honorable Minister. Congratulations. Congratulations, Honorable Leader of the House. Congratulations, Honorable Leader of Opposition. Congratulations to the State President, and congratulations to all Malawians. Go ye and deliver. Amen.
From the passing of the budget, the 2025-2026 8.76 trillion kwacha national budget, we go straight to another highlight in this sitting of Parliament, which is the 5th appearance of the President of the Republic of Malawi, His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Makathi Chakwera, for his question time in Parliament that was on the 26th of March 2025. As per tradition, 5 questions appeared on the day's order paper with 3 supplementary questions to each. We will give you question number 3 that the President took from the order paper. This question came from Member of Parliament for Kasungu North-Northeast, that's Honorable Paul Dumembe Nkoma, who asked the President on what measures government has in place with regards to strengthening the ATM strategy to help with to help Malawi recover economically, combat inflation, as well as address food insecurity, which has contributed to high inflation in the wake of food insufficiency.
We now go to question PQT3, Kasungu North-Northeast.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand to confirm that question PQT3 is indeed from the people of Kasungu North-Northeast. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Kasungu North-Northeast. Your Excellency the President.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Through you, let me thank the people of Kasungu North-Northeast because his question, or the people's question, centers on the nerve of the country, which is the economy. And so Allow me, Madam Speaker, to address the question in three parts like he has outlined. Number one, strengthening the ATM strategy to help Malawi recover economically. Madam Speaker, my administration has introduced innovative approaches in the agriculture sector by prioritizing productive farmers to access loans and grants from National Economic Empowerment Fund, NEF, the Mega Farm Unit, and Agricultural Commercialization Program, AGCOM, respectively. My administration is also intensifying irrigation farming through rehabilitation and construction of new schemes, such as Chile Valley Transformation Program, SPTP, Program for Rural Irrigation Development, PRIDE, and Malawi Watershed Services Project, MWASI. Madam Speaker, in tourism, to increase the number of annual foreign tourist visitors, which currently stands at 1 million, my administration has waived visa requirements for additional countries to boost tourist arrivals. My administration is also working closely with various stakeholders to ensure that the country has more direct flights and that more airlines start flying from here. I'm also pleased, Madam Speaker, to announce that scheduled domestic flights to Mzuzu and Karonga will commence soon to promote tourism in the beautiful northern region. And so with these measures in place, what I will focus on intensifying going forward is the marketing of our country in strategic countries around the world and the development of tourist services, facilities, and activities that incentivize visitors to spend money here from the moment they arrive at our ports of entry to the moment they leave. It will also be important to start training everyone, and I mean everyone. On humanitarian assistance, Madam Speaker, let me also take advantage of this opportunity to report that my administration received additional resources through Contingency Emergency Response Component, CEREC, amount to about $35 million from the World Bank for the importation of maize to support the ongoing food assistance programs. A total of 47,600 metric tons of maize has been imported with World Food Program providing logistical support. This is the maize that has already started coming in the country, and 3 million people are expected to benefit. This response will not only enhance food availability, but also contribute to easing pressure on domestic supplies, thereby helping to stabilize maize prices in the local markets. For medium to long-term resilience building, Madam Speaker, beyond these immediate measures, my administration is investing in initiatives to build resilience to climatic shocks in the agricultural sector. This includes scaling up irrigation programs, implementation of the Mega Farms Initiative, promoting climate-smart agriculture, and improving access to agricultural inputs through the various windows, such as NEF and MIC. I could have elaborated more, but let me stop here for now. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You are watching us live on Parliament Television from the Parliament building in Lilongwe, a very important day when the House has risen a sine die after exhausting 8 weeks of business in the House. As we continue giving you highlights of the 2025-2026 budget meeting, we are drawn to a bill that attracted attention from all corners of the House as well as from the public. This is Bill number 17 of 2025, Mental Health Bill, presented in the House by the Honourable Minister of Health, Kumbize Kandodo Chiponda MP. That was on Thursday, the 10th of April 2025. Let's take a look.
Madam Speaker, the bill before the House seeks to repeal and replace the Mental Treatment Act of 1948. The bill seeks to implement a paradigm shift in the treatment of persons with mental conditions from the medical-based approach to the human rights-based approach to management, treatment, and rehabilitation of persons with a mental health condition. Consequently, the bill seeks to provide a legal framework for the promotion and protection of human rights and freedoms of persons with mental health conditions. Madam Speaker, as honourable members are aware, Malawi has of late experienced an increase in the number of mental health problems due to different factors. The factors include adverse life events and crises, socioeconomic difficulties, substance abuse, chronic physical illnesses, and natural disasters. Further, there is an increase in mental health challenges related to stress and suicidal behavior, more commonly among the men and the youth. Furthermore, the country has been experiencing a rise in deaths by suicide among people living with mental health conditions who suffer from stigma as well as discrimination. Madam Speaker, the potential vulnerabilities associated with having mental health conditions are numerous and include neglect, loss of property, loss of jobs and income, violence, abuse by other people, stigma as well as discrimination, and also harm to themselves or indeed to others. These risks, Madam Speaker, lead to severe consequences such as death by suicide, injuries, poverty, discouraging people from seeking care, worsening of mental health conditions, homelessness, hindering economic productivity, and poor contribution to socio-economic development of communities and indeed of this country. As the people with mental health conditions and those with psychosocial disabilities experience disproportionately higher rates of poor physical health as well as reduced life expectancy, as well as facing stigma and discrimination, it has become crucial to have a comprehensive legal framework to improve the quality of life for people with mental health conditions. To be able to do this, Madam Speaker and honourable members, we need a new legal framework that promotes human rights, ensures access to mental health treatment, and promotes dignity, social inclusion, equality, continuous availability of mental health services, and effective protection of rights of the people living with mental health condition as well as psychosocial disability. In this regard, Madam Speaker, we need a solid institutional framework that will result in the adoption of human rights-based approach to management, treatment, and rehabilitation of persons with mental health condition. Furthermore, Madam Speaker and honourable members, we need a legal framework that is compliant with internationally acceptable principles. To this end, Madam Speaker and honourable members, the bill before you, among other things, provides for one establishment of a mental health board as a body responsible for promotion and protection of human rights and freedoms of persons with mental health condition through, among other things, regulating management, treatment, and rehabilitation of the persons with mental health condition. The bill also outlines the powers and functions of the mental health body. 2, prescribes the rights of persons with a mental health condition premised on their entitlement to enjoy human rights on an equal basis with other persons in all aspects of life, in accordance with Part Part 4 of the Constitution. The bill also amplifies rights crucial for persons with a mental health condition. C, the bill also prescribes a requirement for informed consent of the person with a mental health condition, his or her supporter, or indeed their representative or guardian in the treatment and rehabilitation of the persons, including where that person is required to undergo a major medical or indeed surgical procedure. D, the bill also prescribes for the obligation of mental health facilities to treat and rehabilitate persons with a mental health condition in an environment that safeguards the health and also the safety of the persons and society, including protection of property from destruction. E, the bill provides for the procedure and power to take a person with mental health condition into custody where the person A is harming or is likely to harm himself or herself or any other person. 2, if the person is causing or is likely to cause serious damage to or loss of property. 3, if the person is acting or is likely to act in a manner which is offensive to public decency. 4, if the person is not under proper care or control. 5, if the person is being cruelly treated or neglected by any other person having charge of that person. And lastly, if that person is actively suicidal. The bill also provides for the admission and treatment of persons with a mental health condition who are charged with criminal offenses or are serving prison sentences. The bill also provides for establishment of visiting committee for each mental health facility to monitor treatment of the persons with mental health condition admitted at the facility, including investigating complaints submitted by the persons with mental health conditions admitted at the same facility. The bill also provides for reception of persons with mental health condition from or transfer of persons with a mental health condition to other countries. The bill also provides for the administration of property of persons with mental health condition through court-appointed administrators. The bill also provides for offenses and also penalties. And lastly, Madam Speaker, the bill repeals the Mental Treatment Act. Madam Speaker, I have no doubt that once this bill is enacted, Malawi will have a robust legal framework which shall guarantee improved protection of rights of persons living with mental health conditions. Also, it is going to enhance promotion of human rights, dignity, as well as social inclusion of persons with mental health conditions. Finally, Madam Speaker and honorable members, and most importantly, there will be improvement of quality of life of persons with mental health condition as a result of the humane and dignified mental health care services provided to the same persons. Madam Speaker, honorable members, on the basis of the stated reasons, allow me to invite honorable members of this august House to support the Mental Health Bill of 2025. Madam Speaker, I beg to move.
Well, let's now hear party spokesperson's comments to the bill number 17 of 2025, the Mental Health Bill, starting with the DPP spokesperson, Honorable Dr. Matthews Ngwale, MP, followed by the United Democratic Front, UDF spokesperson.
Madam Speaker, the DPP supports this bill. This bill is very, very important because, Madam Speaker, it is not just talking about people who are mad, because most people think that when we talk about mentally ill, we are talking about people who are mad or people who walk in the streets naked. We are not talking about only those. This bill is addressing people with mental illness. Considering what happens in this House, Madam Speaker, this bill is very important for us. Madam Speaker, all these people who shout at each other, Chisiri, all those are mentally ill people. And therefore, Therefore, this bill is very important. It is here to protect such people. This bill is meant to safeguard people who are mentally ill so that they are protected. I think that is a very, very good thing. The other thing is, this bill establishes a board which will regulate how people with mental illness are treated. There was no regulation initially. This time around, there will be a regulator who will be looking after all the rules surrounding people with mental illness.
I remember in 2021, when I was responding to the SONA, I touched a little bit on this issue when I was commenting on issues pertaining to the Ministry of Health. Madam Speaker, the issue that I commented on was to do with the alarming suicide trends in Malawi. And my question that time was, what are we doing about it? I just wanted to quote this, just to show the House that these issues are here. And for us to stand in this House debating on this bill is doing the right thing. Madam Speaker, I'm commenting as somebody who has stayed very closer to the people that are affected with mental health issues, the issues of schizophrenia, and it's an issue that everybody can go through it. It is like a disease. Anybody can get sick. I'm sorry to see around people being tied with ropes instead of just maybe speaking to them or doing some other ways to calm them down. It is a big issue in Malawi. You know, these issues, they are hereditary sometimes. Sometimes they come because of substance abuse. These things, even going through stressful situations, like the situations that honorable members, most honorable members are going through. The issue of areas, the issue of primaries, a lot of issues can be causative agents to this issue. With these few remarks, the UDF fully support this bill. Thank you so much.
Well, those are extracts of Honorable Dr. Matthew Ngwale, MP for the DPP, as well as Honorable Nedson Poya for the UDF for commenting on the mental health bill. Now, Deputy Chairperson of the Health Committee of Parliament also gave a report in relation to the bill.
Madam Speaker, I rise to present before this August House the Mental Health Amendment Bill, a critical piece of... Madam Speaker, I rise to present before this August the Mental Health Amendment Bill 2025, a critical piece of legislation that seeks to transform how we as a nation approach mental health care and the rights of persons with mental health condition. At the outset, Madam Speaker, allow me to commend the Minister of Health and the Minister of Justice for formulating and bringing before this House a progressive piece of legislation that seeks to repeal the outdated Mental Treatment Act of 1948. The proposed bill signifies an important step forward in the realization of the rights and dignified treatment of persons with mental health conditions in Malawi. Madam Speaker, allow me to highlight the key features of the bill. Number one, establishment of mental health board. The bill establishes the mental health board and mandated to regulate and promote human and rights-based treatment, rehabilitation, and care. This body will provide much-needed oversight and accountability in the delivery of mental health services and help prevent human rights violation in the mental health facility, a concern that has remained unaddressed for decades. Number two, protection of rights for persons with mental health. The bill prescribes specific rights for persons with mental health conditions in line with the Constitution of Malawi. This includes protection from discrimination, the right to employment, the right to appoint a supporter to assist with decision-making, and the right to the highest attainment standard of mental health care. These provisions represent a fundamental shift from viewing mental illness as a condition to be managed solely through medical intervention to recognizing affected persons as rights holders entitled to dignity, choice, and participation. Number 3, employment rights and protections. Clause 29 of the bill prohibits the termination of employment based solely on a current or past mental health condition. It promotes reasonable accommodation in the workplace, including redeployment to suitable positions or assistance to access care. While some concerns have been raised regarding potential financial strain on small businesses, the committee believes the safeguards included strike a reasonable balance between the rights of workers and operational realities for the employers. Number 4, representation of support for decision-making. In a commendable step towards supported decision-making, the bill recognizes the right of individuals to appoint a supporter or, in their absence, be represented by a trusted relative or guardian. This enables people with mental health conditions to be represented in legal, medical, and financial decisions, while preserving their autonomy and dignity. Number 5, administration of property. The bill empowers the High Court to appoint administrators for individuals unable to manage their property due to mental incapacity. This ensures that assets are used in the best interest of the persons and their dependents, preventing exploitation and ensuring financial continuity for families. Number 6, community-based custody mechanism. The bill gives power to police officers, public officers, and traditional or religious leaders to facilitate the safe transfer of individuals with severe mental health conditions found in public places to appropriate mental health facilities, especially when such individuals pose a danger to themselves, others, or property. This promotes a communal responsibility for care, intervention, ensuring timely and human response. Number 7, enhanced penalties. The bill significantly raises penalties for those who abuse, conceal, or mistreat persons with mental health conditions. This includes fines of up to 25 million and imprisonment of up to 5 years. These changes serve as a strong deterrent against inhuman treatment and reinforce the seriousness with which we must treat mental health rights violations. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, the Mental Health Amendment Bill 2025 is a progressive and timely piece of legislation. It responds not only to the gaps in our legal framework, but also to the growing awareness and urgency to treat mental health with the seriousness it deserves. Mental health is not just a medical issue, it is a developmental, human rights, and public health issue. With this bill, we are not only protecting the vulnerable, we are redefining our values as a society. I therefore urge honourable members of this House to support this bill and give it the full endorsement it deserves. With these few remarks, Madam Speaker, I beg to move that this House adopts the report of the Health Committee on the Bill number 17 of 2025, Mental Health.
Well, after satisfying all bill stages, the House passed the Mental Health Bill as moved by the Minister of Health.
Madam Speaker, I beg to report that Bill number 17 of 2025, Mental Health, passed through the committee stage without any amendments. Therefore, I beg to move that the bill be read for the third time.
Thank you, Honourable Minister of Health. Honourable members, I now put the question. The question is that Bill number 17 of 2025, mental health, be read for the third time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried.
Third reading, Bill number 17 of 2025, mental health.
Of health.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that Bill number 17, mental health, be now read for the third time and passed. I beg to move.
Of Health. Honourable members, I now put the question. The question is that Bill number 17 of 2025, mental health, be read the third time and passed. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it and the bill has passed.
Well, that also brings us to the end of our live coverage of the 2025-2026 budget meeting of Parliament. It was the first meeting of Parliament in the 51st session. To all our viewers, we thank you for watching, and my name is Rachel Gonani, and from all of us here at Parliament Television, it's goodbye.